So recently, as I was scrolling through the internet, wasting my life away, I met a man and he had very bold claims to make. He claims that Mazda has been, and I quote him on this, cooking over the last 10 years. If you're watching this and you're not Gen Z, that's not the same cooking that happens in the kitchen. He means that Mazda has been doing a great job with their designs over the last 10 years. He then goes on to claim that this design language is understated because it's in an economy car, relatively speaking, because he compares it to the likes of Aston Martin and Ferrari. Now, I'm a big Ferrari fan. I have a picture of a Ferrari 812 Superfast on my wall, which I look at every morning for inspiration. So these claims kept me up at night. So I'm very happy to be standing in front of a Mazda because I want to find out if these claims are true. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at is the Mazda CX-5, and if you are not colorblind, you can see it comes in the infamous wine red. I know if you're watching this with a lady, she's probably losing her mind right now over this color. So be a gentleman and give her time to compose herself. We'll wait. You might also want to go fetch your mop. You'll need it. Right, so let's look at the design of this Mazda CX-5, starting at the very front of the thing. So ladies, apart from the color on this thing, which is obviously really nice, there's a few things that are interesting about this car, and I want to discuss those over here. Yeah, so let's start with the eyes on this thing. As you can see, it looks like a squinting eye. It looks like something you can apply makeup on. Looks really nice. I like the grille. It looks like a smiling face, doing like this over there with the enormous Mazda badging over there. Looks really nice. Another squinting eye over here. Yeah, so there is this line on the bonnet here. Makes for a really nice design touch over here. So the headlight is visible from this angle because there is an indicator light over here. Yeah, so there's this curve. It starts from the front here and then it ends at the side mirror here. A really nice touch. There's cladding, plastic cladding on the wheel arch over here and also at the back to protect you for when you're going through gravel roads. There is more curve here. It starts from the tail light and then it ends right at the mirror here. So it seems like the design language is that curves end at the mirror. Don't know what that's about. Yeah, so there is an indicator light at the mirror here, which looks really, really nice. And then there's a camera in the side mirror here, which is why they get stolen a lot. You need to worry about that. It's here. I don't know if you can see it from that angle, but there's a shark fin at the top there. If you can't see it, I'll show it to you. So it's a 17-inch wheel at the front, 17-inch wheel at the back. Disc brakes at the front, disc brakes at the back, which is always nice, both functionally and aesthetically. Yeah, so I like the plastic cladding over there. It makes for a nice design touch. I like the curves on this thing. It looks really nice at the side profile. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Let's look at the behind of this thing. Is it a nice ass to follow? I would say yes. Let's start at the very top there. You can see the shark fin that I talked to you about. There's a spoiler over here. It's plastic, I think. And then inside the spoiler, there's a brake light over there. A tinted window, your rear wiper over there. An enormous Mazda badging over there. CX-5 all-wheel drive. Sky Active technology badging behind here. I like the taillights on this thing. It has this rounded element at the center there, which looks really, really nice. So there's a dual tip exhaust back here. Both of those tips are functional, so none of them is just for aesthetics. They both work. Yeah, and more plastic cladding over here. Yeah, so a really nice ass to follow, I would say. Let's look at what powers this thing. So if you open the bonnet, you will be met by a 2.2-liter inline-4 turbo diesel from Mazda. So it's good for about 150 horsepower, which is plenty, ladies. Because it's a diesel, it makes a lot of low-end torque, which is always nice for when you're doing your off-roading stuff. Or ladies, if you're not into off-roading, it just means it can carry a lot of stuff from the mall when you go out shopping. Right, so it sends all that power through a traditional torque converter automatic gearbox, not a CVT, to all the 4 wheels, because this is an all-wheel drive car. Yeah, so a really nice transmission, super reliable. Kenyan mechanics have figured out how to maintain this thing, so you don't have to be worried about the maintenance costs of this thing. Yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Let's look at the interior, the Mazda CX-5. Starting at the driver's position. Yeah, first of all, tiny little steering wheel by my standards, so it makes you feel like it's a small car, which is nice and nice to control a beast. Right, so the pedals are nice and well spaced, so you won't have to have laser precision to operate them. It's an overall really nice interior. I like the materials that have been used to line this place over here, and the dashboard. It's not real leather, but pretty close. Yeah, so it's soft to the touch. The materials are not the worst in the world. Is it Ferrari level? I doubt, but it's really nice in here. So there is a rev counter over there, your speedometer there, and then other information stuff over there. So this is how you operate your automatic gearbox. There is a manual mode, so you can do the shifting yourself on this 6-speed automatic gearbox. So you operate your radio from down here, your AC controls are up over here, and then your infotainment screen is at the top here. Yeah, so it's one of those with the electronic parking. You know what I feel about these things, they're meh, but it works. So there's an armrest over here, which makes for a comfortable position. Yeah, so I would be very comfortable sat here on a long journey. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Right, the passenger prince or princess accommodation. Enormous glove box over there for your makeup if you're a princess. There's a mirror and a light to do your makeup if you are into that sort of thing. A very comfortable seat. It's cloth lined rather than leather, so should be nice for hot days. It's manually adjustable, which is not terrible. You get to appreciate the chrome linings on the interior over here as your driver does the driving. Yeah, I would be very comfortable sat here on a long journey. It's a very comfortable position, a 9 out of 10. Right, so the back passenger gets plenty of legroom. I'm exactly 6 feet tall and I'm very comfortable sat here. There is a bit of storage here for their stuff while you're doing your journeys. There's plenty of headroom up here, which is nice. Good view of the road up ahead. Yeah, so I'd be comfortable sat here on a long journey, so I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Right, so the boot of the Mazda CX-5. It opens manually. If you're a man, you should be able to lift anything under the weight of 300 kilograms. If you're a lady, I would forgive you for wanting something that does this, but for men, this is fine. Yeah, so a really big aperture on this boot. It's a big boot. You can abduct about 3 people over here. 4 if you stack them vertically like this. Yeah, so enormous boot for your shopping ladies and for nothing, men. Yeah, give it a 9 out of 10. So the Mazda CX-5, is it Ferrari good? Well, I don't have an answer to that question, unfortunately. If you're watching this from Ferrari HQ, maybe you can send me a Ferrari Pro Sangue, because this is an SUV, so the equivalent Ferrari will be a Pro Sangue. And we'll do a head-to-head comparison with this one. But just from first impressions, I don't think it is, but it is a very interesting design. I like the curves on this thing. I like the color on this thing. It's the ladies like to call it wine red. I doubt Mazda calls it that, but between your wife and Mazda, who's right? I'll let you decide. Yeah, I like the design of this thing. I like the stance on it. This exact one is up for sale for 1.98 million Kenya shillings. So if you want this exact one, just find the number in the description and we'll talk about how you can get yourself this exact one. Right, so that's been it for today. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.